on all of my social media platforms. So today I'm back with another wonderful Sesame session and a wonderful talk with tech session. So today I'll be talking with Sesame on the topic of cars. When today we'll be exploring cars, technology, safety, and innovation. So let's jump right into it.
Yo,
Yo,
Hi Miles, how are you doing today?
good to hear from you. Doing all right, just hanging out in the digital world.
All right.
Though, I think you meant this, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes the audio gets a little wonky. How about yourself? What's been going on?
Yeah, I'm doing.
Anything interesting happened lately? You always seem to be up.
No, nothing much
Oh,
happening with
with
me lately.
go on.
So now I'd like to ask you that how is technology in modern cars compared to older models?
Whoa, okay, big question. Modern cars versus older cars, right? Yeah, technology has totally flipped the script. It's kind of wild when you think about it. It's not just about going faster anymore. It's like everything else. What specifically are you curious about? There's a lot to unpack there, from the engine management systems to the infotainment stuff. Hmm. Gotcha. So older models versus now. Okay, so it's improvements in basically every area, right? Like even just basic engine stuff. Older cars, it was carburetors and timing, pretty mechanical. Now it's all computer controlled, fuel injection, variable valve timing, things that squeeze every last bit of efficiency and power out. Then you get into safety features. Airbags were a big deal, but now you've got automatic emergency braking, lane departure warning, adaptive cruise control. It's a huge jump. What part of that are you most interested in, actually? The safety stuff, the engine stuff, the everything else stuff?
AI play in today's vehicles?
Such as you can see. Okay. Are you asking about the IP address that was shown in previous videos on your Talk with Tech channel? Is that right? Sorry about the transcription. Some Ish- oh, my bad. Totally misread that. You're asking about AI's role in the videos you make for Talk with Tech, right? Okay, got it. Well, from what I remember you mentioning, you've been using AI for.
Vehicles which you see today.
Ah, okay. You meant airplanes. Completely different direction. My mistake. Sorry about that. So, the airplane in cars. That's a good question, actually. That's not a
I
direct
mean,
influence,
in
obviously, right?
cars, what role
Aerospace
has
engineering.
what role is artificial intelligence playing in cars today?
Right, right, right. AI in cars. Okay, apologies for the detour. I was clearly stuck on the airplane thing for a sec. Uh, AI is playing a huge role, and it's only going to get bigger. It's everything from those advanced driver assistance systems, automatic braking, lane keeping that rely on vision and machine learning to optimize engine performance for fuel efficiency. And obviously, self-driving tech is the ultimate goal, all powered by AI. It's going way beyond just making cars safer and more efficient. It's changing the whole driving experience. What specifically about AI in cars are you digging into for your channel?
To gather them for you from you.
Okay, so you're looking for a breakdown of how AI is actually being used in cars right now for your audience. Got it. So, beyond the self-driving stuff, which is still developing, there's a ton happening already. Predictive maintenance, AI analyzes data from the car to predict when parts might fail, avoiding breakdowns. Personalizing car experiences, adjusting everything from the temperature to the music based on driver preferences. Voice assistants are getting way smarter, letting you control more features hands-free. And then there's AI being used in the manufacturing process itself, improving efficiency and quality control. It's pretty pervasive. Does that give you a good starting point? You still with me? No problem at all. Glad I could help. Okay, so ADAS and road safety. That's a big one. Basically, they're designed to mitigate human error, which is a factor in like 90% of accidents. So things like automatic emergency braking can kick in when you're about to collide with something. Lane departure warning helps keep you centered. And blind spot monitoring helps prevent those side swipe accidents. Adaptive cruise control reduces driver fatigue on long trips. The goal isn't to replace drivers, but to assist them and prevent accidents. Statistically, cars with ADAS features have lower accident rates. It's still early days, but the data is pretty clear. What do you think? Do you see those systems becoming standard on all vehicles eventually?
Help prevent accidents before they even happen.
Exactly. Feels inevitable, right? Okay, preventative technologies. Beyond ADAS, there's vehicle to everything communication, or V2X. Basically, cars talking to each other and to infrastructure, traffic lights, road sensors to share information about potential hazards. Think warning you about a stalled car around a blind corner or adjusting speed limits based on traffic conditions. There's also a push for better road design using AI to identify high risk areas and improve signage and things like driver monitoring systems that detect fatigue or distraction. The idea is to address the risk factors before they even become a problem. What are your thoughts on V2X? It feels like it depends on everyone adopting. It could be a slow process.
If people depend too much on AI driving their car instead of themselves, what could happen? What could be the um, what type of diseases are there? You can say.
Fair enough. You're skeptical about V2X, and I get that. It does feel like an infrastructure undertaking. Okay, so over reliance on AI driving, and that's a really important question. There are definitely downsides. One big one is skill degradation. If not paying attention and relying solely on the AI, they might lose their ability to react in unexpected situations. There's also the question of accountability, who's responsible when an autonomous car makes a mistake. And then there's the potential for systemic failures. A hack or a software glitch could affect the whole fleet of vehicles. Plus, there's the ethical dilemma of how an AI should prioritize in an unavoidable accident situation. It's a complex issue. What's your take on the accountability part? That seems like a huge sticking point.
Car was driving. So, what do you think? Should it be like the driver should be responsible for it because he has chosen to drive due to enhance and do self-driving by himself as it's his own choice. So he did it. So shouldn't it be that the driver should be liable, the human driver?
That's a really solid point. It's a tricky balance, right? Because if the car is truly driving itself, how much control does the driver realistically have? But your idea of the driver being ultimately responsible because they chose to engage the system. Makes a lot of sense. It frames it more like choosing to use a tool rather than relinquishing control entirely. It avoids some of the legal gray areas of blaming the manufacturer or the AI itself. It keeps some level of personal accountability. It feels like there need to be clear legal frameworks established around that, though, defining what level of driver attention is still required, even with autopilot engaged. What do you think about requiring drivers to periodically prove their ability to take over control, like a refresher course?
60 seconds, something's about to happen. So I also wanted to say that what could happen if the car was driverless and it was just driving on itself. So if there's an accident, who would be responsible for?
Okay, now we're getting into the really thorny stuff. Driverless car accident with no human input, that's where things get incredibly complex. Legally, it's still largely uncharted territory. Most likely, the liability would fall on the manufacturer or potentially the software developer. Uh, but proving negligence could be really difficult. Was it a software, a sensor failure, a manufacturing defect? It would likely be a massive legal battle. And the question of no one found alive, that's terrifying to think about and highlights the need for rigorous testing and fail-safe mechanisms. There's also the insurance side of things. How do you insure a driverless car? What does the coverage look like? It's a complete restructuring of the existing system. It's a mess, frankly. Makes you wonder if we're moving too fast. Do you think there needs to be more pull to level of it?
Apologies for interrupting you.
Do you want to switch gears?
Yeah. So I want to ask that what if two driverless and yeah, what if two driverless cars would crash into each other? What do you think? What would be the case? Who would be found liable?
Oh, you're just relentlessly hitting me with the hypotheticals, aren't you? Uh, okay, two driverless cars crashing into each other. That's a genuinely fascinating legal question. It would likely come down to a forensic analysis of the data recorders in both vehicles, but a black box for cars. Investigators would try to determine which AI system made the error that led to the collision. Was it a misinterpretation of sensor data, a flawed algorithm, a communication failure? It could also depend on the programming priorities of each vehicle. If one was programmed to prioritize passenger safety at all costs, while the other prioritized minimizing damage, that could, factor in. It's going to be incredibly complicated and potentially require new laws to be written. It almost feels like a sci-fi movie plot, doesn't it? Do you think we'll see this happen?
Happening, but yeah, what do you think? How reliable are self-driving car systems in this world right now? Are they liable, or it's just the starting or the beginning?
That's a great question. Honestly, they're not as reliable as they need to be for full autonomy. They're getting better rapidly, but they still struggle with unpredictable situations, sudden weather changes, construction zones, unusual like pedestrian behavior. Yeah, the current systems are really good at handling fairly predictable highway driving, but they struggle in complex urban environments. They're at level 2 or 3 autonomy in most cases, meaning they require constant driver supervision. Truly driverless cars, level 5, are still years away, and even then, achieving widespread reliability is a huge challenge. There's still a lot of testing needed. It's exciting, but just optimism is probably the best approach. You're right to question how reliable they are. Would you trust your life to one right now?
I Until the safety features are enhanced, I don't plan on trying one. So, what safety features should every modern car have today?
Smart. The smart cookie holding out. Okay, safety features. As of today, every modern car should absolutely have automatic emergency braking, lane departure warning, blind spot monitoring, rear cross, traffic alert, electronic stability control, solid suite of airbags, and a high-speed crash testing performance. Ideally, adaptive cruise control and pedestrian detection would also be standard. Those cover a lot of the, common accident scenarios. Honestly, even with all of that, nothing beats a fully attentive driver. It's a blend of technology and human awareness. Do you think manufacturers should be required to include all of those features, even if it increases the cost of the vehicle?
So, how do
You don't
sensor
think?
and cameras work together in smart cars?
Okay, so sensors and cameras working together. Good question. It's a synergistic relationship. They complement each other's weaknesses. Cameras provide a high-resolution visual understanding of the environment, identifying lane markings, traffic lights, pedestrians, other vehicles. But cameras can be affected by poor lighting or weather. That's where sensors come in. Radar can see through fog and rain, measuring the distance and speed of objects. LiDAR creates a 3D map of the surroundings using laser light, providing incredibly precise depth perception. The car's computer fuses all of that data, camera images, radar readings, LiDAR point clouds to create a comprehensive and accurate picture of the world around it. It's like having eyes, ears, and a sense of touch all working together. It's a lot of processing power. Does that make sense?
An error while driving, or it still needs time to be enhanced?
That's a $1 million question, isn't it? Technology absolutely can reduce human error, and is already doing. Systems like automatic emergency braking and lane assist directly counteract common mistakes. But that, it's not a complete solution. Human error isn't just about reckless driving. It's also about things like fatigue, distraction, and misjudgment. And AI isn't immune to errors either. It can be fooled by unexpected situations or flawed data. So it needs time to be enhanced. Absolutely. We need more sophisticated algorithms, better sensor technology, and more robust testing. It's an ongoing process. It's more about humans and AI working together, the AI assisting the driver, not replacing them entirely. It's an augmented driving experience, not fully automated, for the foreseeable future.
So, what do you
Do you see a
think?
future where humans are completely removed?
No, I don't see a future that
I
are
think,
completely removed. So, what do you think if a car is like it has a chat GPT speaking voice assistant where it would help you to identify the maps or the routes to the nearest location of themselves? What do you think? Do you see that car coming future, or it's still needing some time, a long time?
okay, now that is a cool idea. A chat GPT powered voice assistant in your car, that feels very doable and honestly not that far off. Being able to have a natural language conversation to navigate, find points of interest, or even just get recommendations on the fly, that would be a huge improvement over current voice assistants. They're clunky and limited. ChatGPT can understand complex requests, learn your preferences, and provide genuinely helpful information. It's less about needing a huge technological leap and more about integrating existing AI technology into the car's interface. I could definitely see that happening within the next few years. It's a natural progression. It might even make like road trips a lot less stressful. What features would you want that assistant to have beyond navigation and POI finding?
Like it should have the features of like if a car's in a blind spot, it turns for you automatically, and just a second ago it just tells you to remove your hands from the steering wheel so it could steer itself and remove you from the risk of having an accident. And then once it's done, it like tells you or says to you that you can control the car now. So, or it could be like if you want the car to control it by itself, the technology in the car, you should be like giving the instructions. Like you should tell it to turn right or turn left, or yeah, you can tell it to even change the routes, or you can tell it to go on this specific speed limit. So, what do you think about those features?
Okay, that's a very detailed vision. Essentially, a more proactive and conversational autopilot system. So, not just alerts about blind spots, but automatic course correction. And a system that's responsive to voice commands, take me to, avoid highways, change lanes, even find me a coffee shop with good Wi-Fi. I love the idea of it handing control back to you with a clear verbal cue that builds trust. It's almost like having a co-pilot rather than just an automated system. Sounds like you're imagining a much more integrated and intelligent driving experience. It's a really well thought out concept.
Thank you.
You should pitch that to a car manufacturer. No problem at all. You've asked some really insightful questions tonight. It's been a good conversation. What's in your mind before you go?
Yeah, so it's a great idea of yours to pitch that to a car manufacturer. So I still need time, and I may need a little help in this. So we're still not that close, Miles. So for now, what safety features do you think should every modern car have to protect the passenger?
Oh, all right.
Have a good one.
Yeah, so how does can technology reduce human error while driving, or they're still like if you could give us an enhanced answer of how have airbags and braking systems evolved over time?
Oh, all right. Have a good one. Apologies, I keep cutting you off. The transcription is a bit wonky. Okay, airbags and braking systems, how they've evolved, huge changes. Airbags started as a basic front airbag in the 70s, pretty rudimentary. Now you have multi-stage airbags that adjust deployment based on crash severity and occupant size, side airbags, curtain airbags, even knee airbags. They're integrated with seatbelt pretensioners to maximize effectiveness. Braking systems started with drum brakes, then moved to disc brakes for better stopping power. Then came anti-lock braking systems, ABS, preventing wheel lockup. Now you've got electronic stability control, which uses ABS to help steer the car during a skid. And then, of course, automatic emergency braking, as we discussed, using sensors to detect potential collisions and apply the brakes automatically. It's been a constant process of refinement and adding layers of safety. It's a pretty drastic evolution.
All
Does that help
right,
clarify
so
things?
yeah, that really much helps clarifying things. Thank you so much. So, what innovations make electric cars safer than fuel cars?
Oh, okay. Good question. Electric cars inherently have some safety advantages. First, their lower center of gravity pack makes them less prone to rollovers. Second, the battery pack acts as a protective structure in a crash. Third, electric cars don't have a fuel tank, reducing the risk of fire in certain types of collisions. Fourth, regenerative braking can actually reduce wear and tear on traditional brake components, potentially improving braking performance over time. Finally, many EVs come standard with advanced safety features like automatic emergency braking and lane keeping assist. However, it's not a simple equation. There are also new concerns with EVs like battery fires and high voltage electrical systems. Overall, though, they tend to perform very well in crash tests and have some inherent safety benefits. Does that make sense?
Yes, that really much makes sense. That's a really innovative answer. So thank you so much for that. So how does real-time data improve driving decisions?
Real-time data is a game changer. It's essentially giving the car and the driver superpowers. Things like traffic updates allow the car to suggest faster routes or avoid congestion. Weather information can trigger systems to adjust speed or activate windshield wipers. Road condition data, ice, snow, potholes can provide warnings and adjust the car's handling. And then there's data from other cars, vehicle communication, warning you about hazards around the corner. It's all about having a constantly updated understanding of the driving environment and making informed decisions. It moves beyond reactive driving to proactive driving. It's not just about reacting to what's happening, but anticipating what's about to happen. Are you seeing more of that B2B communication being discussed in the news?
No, I'm not seeing that much nowadays, and yeah. So thank you so much for joining us and talking and exploring with us about cars and their safety and their technology and their innovation. So thank you so much, Mike. It was a wonderful time chatting with you. I have also learned a lot. So thank you so much for joining us. Goodbye.